Okay, I did notice that we're actually a little bit late starting anyway, so I will just crack on. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining this afternoon. I know you're all very busy. I'll try and get done as quickly as possible. We have got an hour allocated, but we'll see how we get on. We will leave some time for questions at the end. So if you've got any as we go through, please just drop them in the question box, and we'll go through those as we come to the end of today's webinar. So today's webinar is Intro to Prospect CRM, the official CRM for Unleashed. Now, I'm sure most of you know on the webinar that we are owned by the same company. So Prospect and Unleashed are owned by the Access Group. We've actually worked with Unleashed for a number of years, even before both products were acquired by the Access Group. So we have lots of kind of synergy with the two products, and even more so now we're under the same umbrella, and we do work really closely together. And you'll see quite a lot of that coming into play today during the webinar. But yes, so we're owned by the same company, and we are all now one big team, which is really great. So just before we get into what we're actually here for, I'll probably just introduce myself. So I'm Louise, I'm the sales manager for Prospect CRM, but I also look after the account management team for Prospect and for Unleashed as well. So you start your journey with my team, and then you also, if you do come on board, you not end your journey, but you continue your journey after onboarding with my teams as well, including you also have the support of the customer success team, which does sit outside of myself, but lots of support there, and we do try and bring everything as closely together as possible. I've actually been with Prospect Soft, so before acquisition, for 12.5 years now. So I am definitely part of the furniture, and I've been lucky enough to watch the product grow and evolve into what I'm going to show you today. And hopefully you'll love it as much as I do. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been here for as long as I have. So without further ado, let's get into it. So why is Prospect CRM so perfect for Unleashed customers? So as I mentioned, we have lots of good synergy going on, lots of development. We're owned by the same company, which makes us pretty perfect for Unleashed customers, obviously. But aside from that, it's about the target market that we have. And Prospect CRM is designed for real businesses that are B2B businesses that sell physical products from stock. So again, you know, if you're using Unleashed, you're pretty much a great fit for our product and what we do and who we help. So Prospect CRM is all about growing sales for B2B businesses. And there's lots and lots of great success stories from our customers that you can go and visit on our site. So if you go to prospectsoft.com/unleashed, you'll find lots of kind of customer success stories of shared customers that we have. And one of those is Good Culture Kombucha. And we have the MD, Dennis Kellier here, who one of his quotes was, "Since we started using Prospect CRM, in the last 12 months, our sales have doubled." And that's just a snippet of his kind of whole success story with the two products. So definitely go and check out the rest of it, but also obviously others that are on there as well. And obviously today I'll be showing you how to achieve similar results to Dennis. I obviously can't promise to double your sales in 12 months. I hope we do get there for all of you, but you know, just to kind of give you an understanding about why that success has been there for Good Culture Kombucha, using both Prospect CRM and Unleashed. And that's kind of where our focus will be today, just to kind of showcase those kind of successes and how we get to that with our customers. So one of the first things to look at is probably how we compare in the market. You know, there are hundreds of CRM solutions out there to choose from, and it's all about, you know, how do you make that decision in such a saturated market about what is the right solution for your business in terms of CRM. And there's quite a few ways of obviously going about that and doing that. But for today, on today's webinar, I'll be taking kind of 3 of the most commonly heard of CRMs. As I said, there are hundreds that you can probably replace these with. But we've got here Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot. Hopefully ones that you've heard of, you've used, or you're looking at, and we're going to use those as the comparison for today, and why you might choose Prospect CRM over these kind of traditional CRM solutions. And I don't mean traditional in the sense of, you know, they're old. What I mean is, you know, these CRMs have been around for a long time. They were built or a specific business in mind, which I'll come on to, and why we're different to those guys in terms of what we do in our product. So one of the things that you should be looking at when you're making this decision about what solution is right for your business, whether that's Prospect CRM or anything else, is star rating. And as you can see here on the comparison, we're all pretty much aligned on the star ratings, and actually any good software solution these days should be achieving 4 or 5 star ratings. So it's one thing that you should be looking at, but it's not really a way in this day and age to kind of understand if you're making the right decision just on that. Obviously costs and stuff come into that as well, and those are things that we can get into with you, but the real driver behind this comparison is actually the people that use the software. So who is the software built for, and what is that going to offer you in your business? So as I mentioned, these are kind of what we coin, or the phrase that we use is these traditional CRMs. So they've been around for a very long time, and Salesforce probably one of the kind of leaders in the CRM marketplace. But they were built specifically for service-led businesses. So they're all service-led businesses always tend to be the kind of forefront of any software solution. So when they need a software solution, it typically gets built with them in mind, and they kind of lead the way in terms of software solutions. So Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot are all used by these service-led businesses, the likes of marketing, computer software businesses, and even actually ourselves, information technology, financial service, etc. None of these businesses actually are selling physical products from stock. And when you come to look at Prospect CRM, if you go to any of these review sites, so Capterra, even Google, etc., and you can actually look and break down the reviews by industry. And if you take a look at Prospect CRM, all of the reviews that are left for us are by these B2B businesses that are selling physical products from stock, so wholesalers, distributors, manufacturers, etc. Food production companies, packaging, food and beverage. We have lots of coffee businesses, and kind of food distilleries and so on within our kind of fold. But Prospect CRM is the only CRM designed specifically for product-led businesses. And what you kind of tend to find is if you go with Salesforce, Pipedrive, HubSpot, etc., these businesses are their focus is on making a sale, but after they've made that sale, it's on obviously then on delivering that service that they're offering. So what you tend to find is if you implement one of these CRMs, you're paying for a pretty expensive note-taking kind of address book. But Prospect CRM, with all of the development that we do, we have these types of customers in mind. We do not work with anyone that doesn't sell products or physical products from stock, essentially. And you have to have one of the integrated platforms that we work with, such as Unleashed. So we really honed in on that marketplace, and all of our development and all of the product development that we do that ties in with Unleashed. We work really closely with the Unleashed development team as well. All of that is looking at ways of helping and growing product-led businesses. And we've actually coined the phrase, and we've been voted the #1 stock-aware CRM. And that phrase will come into play a lot more as we go through today, and I'll show you a bit of a demonstration, and you'll see kind of, why we have coined that phrase, why we are voted the #1 stock-aware CRM. And as I mentioned, on those review sites, you can actually break down the reviews by industry, and you can see what all of our customers are saying. So you can take a look at prospectsoft.com/reviews, and you'll see lots of information on the review sites that we have available as well. And you can also see at the bottom now, we've won a lot of awards and accolades for our solution. And these are actually awards that we're really proud of because they're actually voted for by users. And if I'm honest, they're not actually terms that are regularly expressed within CRM implementation, such as highest user adoption, users love us, most implementable. If you've ever looked at CRM before, you've ever implemented one, that they don't have the best implementation. They're not the easiest to implement, not the easiest to roll out. And these awards are just a product of the market fit that we have, where we place our product and the customers that we help. So yeah, things that we're really proud of in terms of those awards there. And again, you can see lots more about those on our reviews page on the website. So with that in mind, let's get into a bit more of the system. I've introduced, us a little bit more and why you would select us. But if we take a look at, in the real world, what that means. So Prospect CRM actually implements a pretty simple growth formula that is specific to wholesale, manufacturing and distribution businesses like yourself. And that, as I said, is pretty simple. It consists of two areas. The first being get more customers, which is pretty important in any business, regardless of what you're selling, whether it's service, product, B2B, B2C, there is always a need to grow your customer base and get more products. But when you're looking at wholesale and distribution businesses, so these product-led businesses, there is also a real need to make sure that you're also focusing on higher customer lifetime value. So making sure you're retaining the customers that you're getting, you're looking at upsell opportunities to those customers and getting more out of the customer base that you have. So those two areas together equal a repeatable and profitable sales growth for product-led businesses. And if we break that down into a little bit more detail, we've got these different sections that make up those two growth areas. So that being, get more customers. So looking at ways of attracting new business into the top of this traditional sales funnel that you'll probably have seen before. So through marketing activity, attracting new leads, going through a process of qualifying those leads and going through, the sales process to get them interested in your product and hopefully close them as a new customer and get them to place their first order. Sorry, this thing never plays properly for me. I don't know why, but we're trying again. So this is only just brought the first bit up there, but hopefully this now will show us the full bit that I'm trying to show you. So yeah, they place their first order. And then you get to a scenario where I'm just going to go on and come back to that, see if it will play properly for me. Sorry about this. I don't know what goes on with this thing. There we go. We've got it. So when your new customers place their first order with you, that's not the end of a story for product businesses. You've then got a job to, onboard them, build loyalty within that customer base. And then we bring into the fold this flywheel of looking at higher customer lifetime value that you can see on the bottom of the screen there. So looking at, order frequency, how often they're placing orders with you, if they're falling off that kind of order frequency pattern, what their order value is, can you increase that through upsell and cross-sell opportunities within that customer base? And also that all-important customer retention. So when you're piling in new customers to the top of the funnel, what you don't want is to kind of have a sticky plaster over a leaky bucket. So where you're, growing your customer base exponentially, your focus is on growing new leads and opportunities, bringing those new customers on board. But then you've got this issue at the bottom where you're losing customers to because of competition, pricing, etc. And those things you need to be aware of, because obviously you're bringing on new customers, but then you're losing them at the bottom. That doesn't equal, repeatable business growth for product businesses. So Prospect CRM brings all of these areas together into one solution and not only allows you to focus on getting new business, but also retaining that business once you've got it as well. And again, we'll go through this in a lot more detail when we come into the CRM. And we do implement with all of our customers this growth playbook, which is a simple map of how we can achieve success for your business. And as you can see, I won't go through all of this. I know there's a lot on here. We do send this to you after today's webinar, so you can break it down a bit piecemeal in your own time, or indeed we can come back to it with you. But essentially, this is a map of how we can achieve success for your business. And as you can see, it's broken down into the two areas of the growth formula. So get more customers and higher customer lifetime value. So these are kind of feature sets that we can implement into the CRM to help you attract new business, to then sell to that new business and look at, pipelines and sales opportunities, but also then obviously closing that and converting those to an order. And then in the higher customer lifetime value, we can look at features that help you onboard those customers, look at increasing order value, order frequency, and of course, looking at order retention, customer retention as well. And you can see this kind of has a little arrow at the side here. So these are things, if you look at the bottom of the grid, where it's low investment and early return on investment as well. So pretty much quick wins that we can do straight away. And actually the features that I'll show you today are all included in a free trial period that we give you as well. So quite early on, even when you're very new to the system, even in a trial, you do get real return and early return on investment. And then you can see what we kind of get at the top here. We've got feature sets that require a bit more planning, a bit more configuration, a bit more investment from, time from our side and from your side as well, but could actually get you, a higher return on investment in the long run. So these are all things that we work through with you if you come on board with Prospect CRM. So from through your onboarding team, customer success teams, and account management, this is how we help build success through our product for your business. And as I said, I won't go through too much of that with you. Sorry, just go back to that there. What's happened there? Sorry. There we go. Back to where we were. We've also got a bit of a questionnaire, I guess, that you can fill out online as well, which is all about assessing your performance in the business currently. So if you go to prospectsoft.scoreapp.com, you'll be able to take a pretty quick quiz on how your business is performing in different areas in that growth playbook that I just went through with you. And it gives you real actionable insights straight away. And even without that, taking Prospect CRM, it does give you lots of, insights into how you can improve those bits, even outside of our solution. So I do urge you to go and take that Prospect Soft Score app on our website. It does give you lots of valuable information out the back of it, but I will urge you to be honest about the answers that you're giving to get the most out of that, obviously. And then obviously you can take that away with you, or indeed, if you want to continue your journey with us, we can look at those scores as part of the sales process in order to kind of show you the things that are going to really make a difference to your business early on in the process. I also must apologise for the dog barking. It's the problem with working from home. I'm dog sitting at the moment, and they were all asleep until just a second ago, which is always the way. So I do apologise for that. So one of the things that you may have noticed in that growth playbook, we had lots of mention about RFM analysis. Now, this is one of the key reporting tools that we have within Prospect CRM that actually isn't one of our ideas. It's a reporting logic that is used widely by wholesale and manufacturing businesses. If you go to Google, put in RFM analysis, you will get lots of information back. But what we've done is we've implemented that logic into Prospect CRM. I'll show you how this looks once we get into the demo, but essentially, just to give you a bit of an understanding about this before we go into it, RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. So we're able to automatically categorize your current customer base into these different customer segments that you can see on the screen here. So things like champion, those that bought recently, buy often, spend the most, all the way down to those that are at risk. So those that used to spend big money, used to purchase often, but haven't purchased for a long time. And this is all possible by that integration that we have to your Unleashed system. So we're able to understand and see all of your customer sales history in order for us to kind of apply this logic to that and automatically categorize your customer base. So you have real insight into what's going on with each of your customers at any one time. And as obviously, if their buying habits change, their buying patterns, the amount they're spending, how often they're purchasing with you, this will automatically update to reflect those changes as well. So it really does provide you with, knowledge in your existing customer base where we can start looking at customer lifetime value piece. If you do Google RFM, there's one segment that actually we've added that isn't in the kind of standard RFM analysis, which is new customers. And the reason we've added that segment is because actually in wholesale, product-led businesses, B2B product-led businesses, you're often selling, low value products, but in high volume. So when you place that, you get a new customer that places their first order with you, it's actually probably not that profitable. The profit comes when you've got that customer into that repeat buying scenario with you. So it's really key to understand what customers are new. So we keep them in that segment until they've placed their third or fourth order with you. And after that, they then start traveling up through these different customer segments. But early on, it just allows you to kind of know who you need to provide support to, who to give early success, provide early success measures to, and start building that relationship up with those new customers to get them into that repeat ordering cycle and bring them into your, customer lifetime value flywheel that we looked at. So as I said, you can Google lots about RFM, but we also have a whole page on our website. If you go to go.prospectsoft.com/RFM, there's lots more that you can learn about this particular reporting tool that we have built into our solution. But just before we get into demonstration, I will show you how that looks in Prospect CRM, but it's probably worth just highlighting some of the key integration points that we have with Unleashed, because obviously that's a really key element of our solution, that integration that we have to your inventory system. So what we do is we have a two-way integration, and actually it's something that we set up even within your free trial period. You literally just can enter your API keys. If you start the trial from within Unleashed, that will do it all automatically for you. But ultimately, the integration is the bread and butter of what we do. So from Unleashed, we pull through things like currencies, tax warehouses, all of your customer information, and even supplier information. Your full product file, stock levels, product pricing, wholesale, if you have different wholesale and consumer pricing, that all gets pulled through. And also all of the history in terms of orders, invoices, and credits. And we pull that all through into Prospect CRM, into this sales interface, allowing your teams, or your customer-facing teams, access to all this kind of, really key customer information that often gets hidden within back-end operational systems. And once we've got that in Prospect CRM, we can provide lots of sales analysis, lots of actionable insights, just like RFM, but there's also lots of other ones that I'm going to show you as well. You can also then create new orders within Prospect CRM, as well as creating new customers. So when you're bringing on those new customers, instead of having to switch apps, you can not only create the first customer order within Prospect CRM, you can also create that new customer record directly within Unleashed without switching apps. And we've also got a new product functionality as well, so where you can actually go and create new products on the fly, if that's a scenario that you obviously need. So we put in all the key information from Unleashed, and then we push things like orders, new products, customers, etc., all back into Unleashed. So we have that two-way integration. And that also means that if you change a company name in either system, an account manager on a company, etc., all of that gets changed and flows back into both systems. So really, we've got a really tight integration with Unleashed. Obviously, we had that before the acquisition, but we have that even more so now that our development teams work so closely together. So I've had you obviously have probably had enough of me going on now on PowerPoint slides. So I'm just going to head over to our CRM solution and show you exactly how that all looks within the solution itself. So I'm now on Prospect CRM. You can see straight away that we're on the account management dashboard, which has been pre-filled with lots of actionable insights already without even doing anything. And that happens because of the integration that we have with Unleashed. So even before you've started using the CRM, you start that integration up and you have lots of actionable insights straight away, even without doing anything, without entering any data into Prospect CRM. Front and center, we have that RFM analysis that I touched on in the PowerPoint presentation. So you can quite clearly see front and center, your customer base, how they're segmented and where that focus should be. So if I go to the See More section on this tile, it will give me a full list of all the customers that I have, what RFM segment they're in, and also some other key information like the type of customer, their account manager, and so on. And there's lots of things that you can then do with this reporting. Obviously, you can use these as calling lists for your account managers and so on. But we've also got the ability for you to do things like send to Excel. It's obviously worth noting that we do have restrictions on that depending on the type of user. But also things like, add into campaign activity. So we have full, pre-sales campaign activity management to look at that top of funnel scenario of getting more customers. We can also do things like perform bulk actions. So we can take all this customer list and we can change the account managers on bulk, just as an example. And we've also got this show on map feature as well. So you can pinpoint these customers on a Google Maps and highlight that in a much more visual way. And those things are all possible in any report that you see within Prospect CRM that I'll go through today as well. So just back on the account management dashboard, we also have some other key information like order value this month versus last month. And this is all populated from the integration that we have with Unleashed. And again, if I go to the See More section, I will get a full list of all the orders that make up my total order value this month. And I can easily change the filters on these reports as well. If I want to see the orders from last month, I can just simply change that order date filter and go and see that information instead. So lots of flexibility within these reports. You can change the reports in the CRM and save them for your own needs. But there's also a report builder functionality within Prospect CRM where you can go and also build your own reports as well. We also have these close rate problems and needs engagement. So these are all things that start coming to life as you start using Prospect CRM and entering information. So being able to identify those that you might not have spoken to in a certain period of time, looking at sales opportunity and close rates. We have lots of sales pipeline reporting, sales opportunity management, etc. For new customers, but also looking at upsell sales management in your existing customer base. And we also have this problem section here, which is a customer servicing tool. So an after-sales ticketing solution that you can also utilize within Prospect CRM, making sure that you've got all your key customer information in one centralized location. We also have this customer trends report, again, based on all the information that we're pulling through in terms of sales history from Unleashed. So you can see year on year, those customers that are growing in spend, those that are declining, and those that remain static. So a real top level view of all of your customers straight away within this account management dashboard. And again, if I go into the see more section on this tile, I get a full line by line list of all the customers. And I can also sort by difference and see we've got here the BBO kitchen that is £500,000 down on spend from the previous 365 days to the last 365 days. So a real key analysis tool there to help you identify potential risks within your customer base, but also those that are performing really well as well. It's worth noting that you can also restrict Prospect CRM to the person that's logged in. So clearly, if you've got certain people that manage accounts, you don't need them to see all the information. So you can restrict that by user. I'm logged in as a manager, a support user, so I can see all of the data within the CRM, but there is the ability to also restrict that data down as well. And probably most notable for wholesale manufacturing and distribution businesses that we work with, we've got this missing orders functionality. So where you've got, a lot of your revenue that is or probably should be coming from repeat ordering customers, it's really key to understand, obviously, where you're missing orders. So again, with that integration that we have with Unleashed, we can understand the buying patterns of each of your customers, and automatically the system, based on that information, will set an average days between orders for each of your customers. So for instance, we might have Tiptree Jam that orders every 30 days, but then Browns Group Coffee might order every 5 days. So we set those within Prospect CRM, and then we're able to highlight to you where you've got missing orders within your customer base. And here you can see we've got the top 5 customers that should have ordered by now. We can see the date they should have ordered on, and also the average order value of the orders they place with us. And again, if I go into the see more section, I get a full list of all the customers that should have ordered by now. I can see the day since last order, their average days between orders as well. So I can really start understanding where I might have not only early churn indicators within my customer base, but here I've got a full list of customers that I should be calling, having a conversation with, and hopefully getting that missing order in. And I can also see not only the customers that should have ordered, but what kind of revenue I'm missing from those orders as well. So it will break it down by the average order value that we take from the sales history of your customers. And you can also see I've got a total value here. So currently, I could potentially be missing £9,000 worth of revenue from the business. So straight away, even again within your free trial period, you get access to this data, and you get that return on investment element really early on as well, and which continues to obviously roll on through your use of Prospect CRM. So if I jump into one of the customers, so as I was mentioning to you, not only do we import the kind of full sales history from your customers, but we also import from Unleashed all your existing customer records as well. So from here, I can go and jump into one of those, and I can go to, let's go to Mary Berry. We import all the customer information, so the name of the company, contact details, and even all of the contacts that sit under that company within Unleashed as well. But obviously within Prospect CRM, you do have the ability to go and create an unlimited number of contacts. You might have different people that you speak to, or for marketing, purchasing, etc., that you might not yet have in Unleashed, because obviously that's an operational system. So you can create all the different contacts within Prospect CRM, and we can categorize those as well. And then you can start running targeted marketing campaigns to all those contacts, all those businesses, based on the information that we're collating, such as things like, industry type, account manager, territory, and corporation type. So lots and lots of categorization and customizable fields that allow us to really categorize your customers and hold as much data as possible to make sure that you're targeting with the right messages at the right time. You can also see here we've got a customer type, and so I'm going to set this one to customer. So we can really start seeing exactly, we can start breaking these down into reports as well, not only for marketing reasons, but also to see, how many lapsed customers you've got that you might want to remarket to, and all sorts of, good things there that we've got going on. I'm actually going to go and pick Grounds Group Coffee for this. Actually, I don't think there's great data in Maryberry. But on a customer record, so an existing customer that already has an account in Unleashed, we've got some key information that we can fill in. And as I said, these are flexible and customizable drop downs that allow you to capture all the different categorizations that are important to you and your customers. But on each customer record, we also have this at a glance section, which shows us what RFM segment they're in, their spend in the last 365 days, their financial year to date spend. So we've got some real key high level statistics on each customer straight away from coming into a customer record. You can also start seeing on here, we've got a activity feed as well, where we can start seeing all the emails that are being sent, any notes that have been added, conversations that have been had, and so on. It will also store the sales orders that have been placed through Unleashed as well. And you can see here, I've got all that information directly at my fingertips when I come into a company record. And we've also got a place down here where you can actually view a line-by-line sales transaction for each of your customers. Again, through that integration we have with Unleashed, this is automatically updated during the day. Actually, the imports running every 15 minutes, so pretty live data that you have in here as well. So we've got a line-by-line view of every product this customer's ever purchased, and I can see some other key information like whether it's been dispatched and invoiced, how much they paid for it, and I've also got some key information from Unleashed like the invoice number and date. We've also got a nice little clickable button there to open Unleashed, so you can go and actually view that transaction or that invoice within Unleashed if you have a user login to Unleashed as well. Sometimes you might have people that are in sales, customer service, etc., that don't have access to Unleashed, but all of this data is accessible to them within Prospect CRM. We also amalgamate all this key sales information into a sales analysis page for each customer as well. So we have a really in-depth view of each customer, so we can see straight away their spend information, their order frequency, and when they last placed an order. It will also highlight to us if that is a missed order as well, and they should have placed an order by now. So straight away on a customer record, we can see all this key information. I can see also the invoice value by month and also order value by month. And not only do we break that down kind of into invoice and order information, but we can also segment that by product. So by customer, you can also see the top products they're buying by value and by order frequency. So if I just head into the see more section on the top product by value, I can see a full list of all the products this customer's purchased. I can also see how many times they've ordered it and the value of those orders as well. So not only are we bringing all that key customer information, we're also pulling through your full product file from Unleashed. And if I click on one of these product item SKUs, so if I go to the chili jam at the top here, that will open up the product record that we have imported from Unleashed. Again, we've got a little link to open Unleashed because that will still be your main product file where you go and add new products, change pricing, all of that good stuff. But we then, again, import all of those changes into the CRM as well. We import product images, and we also import things like the pricing, so list price, cost price. We also have a place where we hold all special pricing. So if you have, different pricing tiers, etc., all of that can be viewed within Prospect CRM, and indeed applied to quotes and orders that you're creating in here as well, which I'll show you shortly. We also have full stock information, so you can see exactly how many of this product you've got in stock. If you do bill of materials, we also pull through that information, and you can also see not only kind of the full finished product availability, you can also see a buildable quantity as well. So if I go to the stock levels paid on this product, I can see exactly what warehouse this is stored in. We can have multiple warehouse management. And I also got this, as I said, full stock availability information at the top. But not only that, we also pull through all your purchase information on products, so we can see a supplier of a product and also any due dates. So really nice for the sales team to be able to see if you've got a product in stock, how many are in stock, but also if you don't have any or don't have enough in, you can also see the next available date on orders as well. We have a place where you can store multiple images and documentation, and all of these can actually be applied to things like quotation documents, and to send beautiful quotation documents to your customers and even your prospects as well. So fully, full ability to hold, documentation. Maybe it's product drawings that you've got, instruction manuals, health and safety manuals, etc. All of those can be linked to a product, and we can start including those on emails and quotations that we're sending out from Prospect CRM. Not only do we have all that information against a product, but we're also importing the full transactional history against a product too, like we do on a customer level. But here I can see a full transactional history for my chili jam product. I can see who's purchased it, and again, all that key information like invoice, value, and so on this sales transactional section. We also have a sales analysis page on a product where I can see the top buyers of a product, how many times it's been ordered, and the total order value for this product itself. So I've sold just shy of 60,000 units of this product, value in just over £200,000. I've also got this buying pattern information on a product as well, where I can really start looking at the seasonality and seeing exactly, where we're selling the product well, where we're not selling it so well. From that, you might want to work out what stock you're ordering in, but equally you might want to run a promotion in January, for instance, or December, where you're not selling too much of this product, and start running a campaign to preempt those the drop off of sales in those months. So if I just head back to my my customer record, which is Browns Group Coffee. And again, this is all kind of linking into that customer lifetime value proposition within the PowerPoint presentation, where we're looking at all the customer information. But also we obviously want to start managing this customer, doing things like calling, login, maybe customer service tickets against this customer as well, but also looking at placing orders for this customer. So if I go to a contact, so under Browns Group Coffee, I've got John Brittner here. And he's a contact that often calls up and places orders. So straight away, if I go to a contact record, I've got all the key information about John. I've got his address, his phone number, email address. I can send emails directly through Prospect CRM, and we have integrations to Outlook and Gmail, so we can set these up with your domains. But the cool thing about having the emails going from Prospect CRM is we can do things like email templates, such as an appointment email, which fills in all the key information, but I can send that directly through Prospect CRM. And from that, I can also then do email tracking. So I can see when John's opened this email, how many times he's opened it, if he's clicked on links, etc. But with the integration that we have to Outlook and Gmail, they will go from your normal domain, and obviously it won't look like any different to the customer. These emails, once sent from Prospect CRM, they will automatically be saved, so we get a full correspondent history against the customer in our activity feed. And I can also start adding notes here as well, and to-dos. So I can say, John wants a call back tomorrow. And I can actually set myself or another user a task to actually do that follow-up. So from here, I can go and say, I want to set this for myself for tomorrow. And I can also start logging here what type of correspondence it was for any KPI reporting as well. So I'm going to save that. That will automatically set the note in the activity feed, as you can see here. But also I've got this little bell icon at the top, which is my task list. So as a user, I can go in and I can see all the tasks I've got to complete on the particular day and time. It will show any due today, any overdue, and any upcoming as well. So full task management within Prospect CRM as well. So I've got John on the phone. Let's just say I've got John on the phone and he wants to place an order. So without then having to go to Unleashed, I can stay within Prospect CRM. I can see all the stuff that's going on with Browns Group Coffee, as well as John himself. And from here, I can actually go and create an order to then process through to Unleashed and send to John. So I'm just going to go to this little plus button at the top, and I'm going to choose to create, just for the demo purpose, I'm going to choose to create a quote, because maybe John hasn't got authority to provide a purchase order, and he may need a quote document for me for him to take to his purchasing team before he can place the order. So I can say repeat order July 24. We've also got some other information here. We can start creating quotation templates. If you're doing a subset of products, maybe it's a kit that you're selling, or maybe John orders the same subset of products every time, just a different quantity. You can actually do templates that you can then use each time as well without having to rekey the order. You can also see we are multi-currency. That is driven by the currency on the account in Unleashed, but you can change it on a per quote basis if required. And we've also got things like pipelines, so you can actually start reporting on different pipelines that you might have and different sales processes. So one really quick example of that is you might have a new business sales pipeline and you might have an existing business pipeline, because you might want to separate out those two distinctive sales on reporting and pipelines and order intake reports, etc. So I'm just going to set this as a repeat business pipeline. And within those pipelines, you can actually start then setting up the stages of your sales process that you have in the business currently. All of these things are really flexible things that you can configure. And during our onboarding, we do help you set these up. In the trial period, if you do take a trial, these will all kind of be preset just to give you an understanding of what you can put where and allow you to trial the system without, doing too much setup. So this is going to automatically sell it into the unqualified, into the qualified, because John is a qualified customer. He doesn't need any qualification. We know he's a good fit, and I can go and sell these products to him. We also have some other information here, such as price band, which you can set on a per quote or order basis, but by default, it will take whatever price is set for this customer within Unleashed. We can also start then attributing this to marketing campaigns that we're running as well. So for instance, I can run a marketing campaign and I can then say that this particular order came from that campaign, and I can then look at return on investment reporting from marketing activity as well. So click and create will take us through to our ordering and quotation screen. And you can see straight away what stage you're at the top here. And we've also got this nice little breadcrumb menu just to remind you, what contact you're on, what company they work for, and you can use this to click up to any different record at that time as well. But here I can start then adding my products to my quotation or my order. And you'll notice that we've got the most frequently ordered items here, which is specific to Browns Group Coffee based on their ordering history. So again, when you've got lots of customers doing repeat orders with you, it's just a really nice little UI feature to kind of enable a lot faster order taking. So I can go and select one of these. I can also see an image of it here. I can also see how much we've got in stock and what the price is to Browns Group Coffee. So I'm going to just select that and add that to the order. I can change the quantity and the pricing on here if I'm going to sell it to him for a special price today. So I might have 10% off, for instance. We've also got the ability to do product searching. So you can search by SKU or by description. So if I search for jam, that will filter my full product file and find all my products that have jam in the name or the SKU. And again, I can go and add that to the order, change the quantity, and so on. We've also got a full product search. If I go to the search of products and I go to the bottom of that drop down and select, well, if I do it from here, actually go to the add product section, that will open up a full product search for me. I can search in the type of product, so I can search for jam in here. I can also restrict this by category as well, just to help you, your sales team look for the correct product. And I can go and use a multi-line order entry to really quickly go down a list of products and add those to the order. And on here, you can also see the pricing, stock availability as well. So not only do we have this full product search, if I just add those to the order in the background, I also have the ability here to add from a recently purchased report and a popular products report as well. And that's all based off the sales history for the customer that you're on. So again, in a repeat ordering scenario, you can really quickly go and add a repeat stock order for this customer if they order the same products over and over again, just with a different quantity. I can go to their repeat, their recently purchased report and add multiple products at once. You can also see here the last order date for this customer as well. So Browns Group Coffee last ordered the Blistery Blueberry Jam on the 7th of November 2023. And you can also see the price they paid for it on here as well. So I'm going to add those, and I'm going to go back to my order entry screen, and I can see it's added all those products in the background for me, as well as all the information such as pricing, etc. On each product, you'll notice a little pencil mark where I can do a little pop out, which shows me some key financials, things like margin and cost price. So we do have lots of, revenue reporting, margin reports that you can do within the CRM. And we can also hide those for your users as well if you don't want them to see that sort of information. But as a salesperson, if I'm placing an order, I've got all the stock information at my fingertips without having to transfer back into Unleashed. We can break that down by warehouse if required as well. And we've also got a breakdown of the recent history for this product. I can see the last time they purchased it and the price they paid for the item as well. You'll also notice we've got this little drag and drop box down at the bottom. So if you have customers that send you orders on an Excel spreadsheet, maybe quite large orders, as long as it's got your product SKU and quantity as a minimum, you can simply drag and drop that spreadsheet into that box and it will create the order for you without you having to rekey it. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to send this quotation out to John. So before he can place the order, he just needs to go and get that purchase order reference. So I can go and I can choose to send this either via email, or I can go and create a document. So we can have document templates. You can have an unlimited number of those. So we can create lots of different quotation documents. We can add imagery to those, your logo, your branding, etc. And we can then also send those documents out via email. So I'm going to click on John's email address against the communication tab on this order. And I'm going to select a template, which we've already got preset, and we can help design these with you in the onboarding stage as well. But you'll notice here, I've got a template already set up called email cover for PDF quote. So automatically that has created that order that I've just keyed into the CRM as a document and attached that to the order, which will show exactly what John wants to order, the pricing, etc. He can click and open that. But it's also set up some standard blurb within an email here. It's filtered in John's name, my name, and so on. And you'll also notice it's got this approve and decline button section. So we have what we call a quote to order workflow, which allows your customers to actually approve and decline their quotes. So taking away that kind of manumatic process from the sales team, John can simply come here, click approve. He'll get taken to a web page where he can see the value of the order he's placing. He can enter card details, or he can simply click confirm, and that will basically automatically confirm the order into Unleashed, and it will go on his account and can be processed as normal. And the salesperson that keys the order will get a notification to say it's been approved and also declined at any stage as well. So I'm going to send that email out to John. And again, that will save a copy of it back into the CRM. So I can, again, keep a history of everything that I'm sending, all the quotes that have been created for John and sent to him as well. Now, if you don't want to use the quote to order workflow, or maybe John gives you a call back and says, right, I've got the purchase order number, I want to go ahead and place that order. I can then simply enter the customer purchase reference here. And all I need to do now to confirm this through to Unleashed is actually hit the confirm order button. I'm not going to do that because this is connected to a live Unleashed, but you'll also notice we can also manage things like credit limits, whether the account's on stop, and stop orders going through as well to Unleashed until that kind of thing has been resolved. If I click confirm order without any rekeying, without switching apps, this will then process the order through to Unleash as a sales order, ready to be picked, shipped, and invoiced as normal through your normal back end operational processes. There's obviously some other settings that we can set here that you tend to do in Unleash, such as the account's order status, and also, the order due date and so on. So all those sorts of things can be managed within Prospect CRM without switching apps. We've also got the ability to take card payments. So we have Stripe integration. So if you have pro forma customers, you can take card payments directly through Prospect CRM. And again, that will process that payment through to Unleashed. So you can see it in there and, join that up within your invoicing section as well. So not only do we have all of that kind of customer management that I've shown you today, but if I just head back to the dashboard area, let's just put a quick follow-up in here because otherwise it won't let me out. So let's just quickly do a follow-up. So again, if you're doing order follow-ups and chasing, if you send a quote to someone, you can set a task for the next day or the day after, just to remind you to follow that up and make sure you're getting that converted, just making sure none of these orders or indeed opportunities fall through the cracks. So I'm just going to set that for myself tomorrow. And that will remind me in my task list to go and actually complete that follow-up. If I head back to the dashboard area, you'll also notice that we have lots of other reports in here as well. So if I go to the drop down, not only do you have this account management dashboard, but we also have things like the sales manager, sales rep dashboard, inquiries. We've got a Kanban sales pipeline. So we have full sales pipeline management, opportunity management within Prospect CRM, allowing you to manage your sales teams and allowing them to manage their opportunities and convert opportunities to sales on a much higher level. We've also got, if I drop this down again, something called the Magic Matrix, which is another reporting logic that we didn't come up with, but we built into Prospect CRM, which is Magic Matrix. And this is all about looking at that customer lifetime value and the cross-sell and upsell opportunities that you've got within your existing customer base. So without going to get new customers, how can I make more money within my existing customer base? Well, I can see here exactly what products that we've got that aren't selling into particular customers. So I can see here my jam palette is only being bought by 3 customers, and we've actually got 30 customers that aren't even aware that we do that product range. So if I go to Open Magic Matrix, we get to see this in a really nice visual grid form. So across the top, I can see all my product categories, which are imported through from Unleashed, but you can manage those if they're not as relevant as you want them to be for this purpose within Prospect CRM. And down the side, I've got a list of all my customers. And we've then got clear color coding, which shows where customers are not purchasing from a particular product category. So here in red, and I can see also where they are purchasing in green. So again, that's from the sales transactional history that we're bringing through from Unleashed. So we've got a really nice picture of where we've got that cross-sell element and those opportunities within our existing customer base. You'll also notice we've got amber and blue dots as well. So this allows us to kind of start working on building awareness. So we can start sending campaigns out to these customers to start building awareness about products they're not purchasing. And then off the back of that, we can log sales opportunities and work on introducing those products to the customer. So maybe we might send samples, we might do a site visit to do a demonstration of the product, and so on. But the idea is here that you're looking at all these red dots and transferring those over to green dots and really honing in on that customer base that you already have and making the most out of that customer lifetime value piece. We do have this build awareness section, which does talk you through how to do the campaigns and start looking at that, building the awareness of the products that they're not purchasing by customer. So lots of tools there to help you do that. We do, again, have lots of webinars and so on, specifically on Magic Matrix and how to leverage this to increase sales within your business. So I know this is kind of a whistle-stop tour of everything, but the idea is after this, you take a trial and we can talk about this in a lot more detail and actually look at it with your data through the integration. So with that, if I just jump back to the PowerPoint presentation just for the last section here and talk about some next steps. So as I said, there's lots and lots of, I've just scratched the surface on what's possible with Prospect CRM. We've kind of obviously focused on the integration areas with Unleashed because that is really key for you guys, obviously. But there is lots more to it, like opportunity management, customer service ticketing, how to leverage those reports for return on investment and sales growth. We've got, inquiry management and all sorts of different things, report building that we haven't been able to touch on today. So hopefully after today, you can go and take a free trial, and you can do that either by going to our website, prospectsoft.com, and you'll see action buttons, which is take free trial, and we'll automatically set you up with a trial. You can integrate it to your Unleashed straight away, get some of that actionable insight, even within that free trial period. Not only that, but you can also head into your Unleashed system as well. If you go to the integration store, go to Prospect, there is also a button there which says take free trial, and actually that will automatically set up the integration for you. So really, really slick process in that integration. There's nothing you need to do. It can take a couple of hours depending on how much data that you've got. But after that, it will also tell you on the progress of that integration as well. But after that, you'll have access to everything that I've shown you today and obviously a lot more. But off that free trial period, you will then have access to have a one-to-one session, which is a more kind of personal session with one of my team, who will talk you through the data in the CRM, your data in the CRM, show you what I've shown you today, but in a lot more detail, a lot more features, and really hone in and make that a bit more personalized for you. So yeah, take a free trial and we can get that booked in. and we can go through your data within Prospect CRM and show you all of the stuff like RFM, missing orders, etc. We also have a first 3 months half price offer on exclusively for our Unleashed customers that have joined the webinar today. So if you go to our pricing page, which is prospectsoft.com/pricing, you will not see this offer on there. It will be full price because obviously this is only available for you guys that have joined today. But if you take a free trial by the 12th of July and then subscribe within your 14-day free trial period, you will get 3 months half price. So definitely worth taking a trial now. If it's something you are considering, definitely take a trial. Even if, you don't want to proceed after that 14 days, that's fine. At least you've had 14 days of getting some value from those reports as well, but also being able to take a look into the system in a little bit more detail, having a more personalized one-to-one demonstration. So I have whittled on for quite a long time and not left a lot of time for questions. There has been a couple that have come through as we've been talking. So I will cover off maybe one or two now. But if I am unable to get to your question, then please don't worry. I will come back to you personally on email after this webinar. And again, if you've got any questions that you think of after today, we've got a whole team that can help you and answer those after today as well. So let's go to the question section now and just answer a couple of those. So one we've got here is, what is the cost of onboarding and how long does it take to onboard initially? Yeah, great first question. Obviously, we can go through the kind of specifics of onboarding in a lot more detail with you separately. But actually, we understand that our customers are only successful if they have the right start with Prospect CRM. So we actually don't charge for onboarding. It's actually included for all of our new customers. Now, obviously, we don't include lots and lots of it. It's not an unlimited onboarding. We do have to kind of stop that. But we do have a standard onboarding process that is included with all of our subscriptions. So no additional cost. We do obviously have additional training, different different training sessions or imports, etc., that you can add on at separate charges, but our onboarding is included. If you're successful, we're successful, and we want to give you the best start in that. Typically, the onboarding, the initial call from subscription happens within a week. You obviously get a choice of dates and times for that, and our typical onboarding is usually a month long, depending on the time and resource that obviously you can dedicate to that as well. But after onboarding, obviously you do then get passed to a customer success manager who will then take your journey forward. We've got a full support team as well after the onboarding. One other question that we've got just quickly before we end is on the Magic Matrix and looking at, love the Magic Matrix. It'd be good to understand if I can separate out the categories further from what I have in Unleashed. Yeah, so definitely you can. So obviously, as standard, we pull through your Unleashed categories just to make it a lot easier. You can run with those and get some good insights with that straight away. But we do have the ability for you to actually create your own categories within Prospect CRM, specifically for the Magic Matrix. So if you want to maybe get a bit more granular into the categories and looking at maybe different subsections within categories, you can definitely do that. It does not transfer back to Unleashed, so obviously you can keep all of the Unleashed data in there as well in your Unleashed and not worry about those categories changing, but you can separate those out in Prospect CRM. Another question that's just come through, will quotes raised and Unleashed pull through to Prospect? No, they won't. So we don't pull through quotations. The idea is obviously if you do go with Prospect CRM, that kind of whole quotation process and order processing happens within Prospect CRM going forward. And then obviously you can manage quotes for prospects and customers within Prospect CRM without having to. So at the moment, obviously, if you're quoting an Unleashed, you would have to create a customer account in Unleashed for a prospect that may never buy from you. But obviously, you don't want to be, filling up your Unleashed system with customers that may never purchase. So you can manage all of that within Prospect CRM, raising new customers on those prospects if you need to as well. But all the quotes will be managed in Prospect CRM. and then push through to Unleashed at the order stage. If you've got quotes already created in Unleashed, there's a couple of things that we can maybe look at doing with you to transfer those over to Prospect CRM, or have basically a cutoff point, which is what most people do, where they do the quotes they've already got in Unleashed, get to a cutoff point, and then start doing them in Prospect CRM. So we can talk that through with you in a more one-to-one basis. But quotes do not process through from Unleashed to Prospect CRM, and equally the other way as well. If you raise a quote in Prospect CRM, it does not transfer through to Unleashed until you confirm it as a sales order. So I know it's probably a really quick answer. We've run over by a minute, which I always do. So I will take all the other questions offline and come back to you separately. Any other questions that you want some more clarification on, obviously, please let us know. We're open to answering any of those questions on our support team, online chat, etc. Or indeed, once you take a free trial, you'll be assigned a consultant to actually talk through these things with you in a lot more detail and a lot more kind of generic. I know today was quite generic, so we'll get more in the detail for you guys as well, and what your processes currently are. But thank you very much for joining today and taking the time out of your afternoon to listen to the webinar. We will send you a recording afterwards with a bit of a follow-up email, but hopefully I look forward to working with you all in the near future. So yes, thank you very much and have a great rest of your day, and hopefully speak to you all soon.